Wala naman po masama kung magkaroon tayo ng kaibigan sa China, pero we have to be very careful kung sino yung mga kaibigan na yon. Lalo pa po, sabi ko kanina, meron pong sigalot nangyayari sa pagitan po ng China and Philippines dahil po doon sa West Philippine Sea na baka hindi natin alam na meron na po palang espiya doon na nakapag-infiltrate dito sa atin at nagagamit na po yung kanilang friendship para makakuha o makalamang o makakuha ng mga data information that involves national security. Ngayon, ang follow-up tanong ko po, is there a way na para po mapatanggal natin yung mga towers na yan sa loob po ng kampo ng militar?
Sobrang nakakagulat na balita. Grabe, Senator Raffy Tulfo niyanig ang China. Ginulat ang mga Duterte, papalayasin na China dito. Bawal na sila sa Pilipinas. Ayon sa nakalap nating impormasyon, binira ang China ni Senator Raffy Tulfo. Matapos di umano niyang bitawan ng mga salita, bawal na ang China dito. Paalis niyo na ang mga pinalagay ni Duterteng China satellite dito, sa loob pa mismo ng kampo ng militar. Tapos ilipat natin sa kanila ang confidential fund na sinayang lang ng VP, gamitin nating panglaban na lang sa China. Tara panoorin natin.
Now, let's move on. Let's talk about ito pong mga cell site towers sa loob po ng kampo ng militar. Paano nangyari po ito?
Sa pagkakaalam ko po, noon pa man ay meron ng kasunduan ang isang telco company sa gobyerno. Nung ako po ay nag-iimbestiga nito bilang chairman ng Committee on Public Services, isa po yan sa tinanong natin sa mga National Security Advisor kung hindi ba ito makakasama sa ating seguridad. At sinasabi po nila, ito na mismo yung mga military nagsasabi noon na hindi daw. Ito daw ay secure sapagkat tower lang naman daw yung nandun, wala naman daw silang pakialam dun sa systems ng AFP or ng military.
How about, that's coming from the military, pero how about independent experts? Natanong ho ba natin kung that can pose as security threat, especially yung isa dyan, yung dito na malaking porsyento ay pag-aari po ng Chinese government. So, would that pose a threat na yung dito nandoon at iba pang telcos companies, meron pong tower sa loob mismo ng kampo ng AFP na pwede pong lagyan po ng device o technology na para maka-eavesdrop sa operations ng ating militar?
Opo, totoo po yan. Yung mga iba po na nag-attend ng ating hearing, lalo na sa private sector, expressed concern about it. But at that time, we were in need of a third telco company, and the actual administration then was actively pushing for the approval of a third telco company. That's why, in the end, although there's some hesitations about the possible safety concern when it comes to our national security, this was allowed with the assurance of the military that they were vetting the technicians and also that the ownership apparently of that telco is Filipino. And consequently, this is also advantageous because the military can protect these towers, apparently. And we also receive a confidential memo from the military that it is low risk. So we have it in our records that they were in agreement to that setup, Mr. President.
Okay. Madam Chair, yung pong bang militar, nung payagan po nila itong mga telcos tulad ng Globe o Smart, and then dito na pag-aari po ng kung ilang porsyento dyan pag-aari po ng Chinese government, nakonsulta ho ba yung DICT?
Opo. In fact, kasama po yung DICT kasi hindi naman po papayagan na magkaroon ng prangkisa yung dito telco kung hindi po inaprubahan ng NTC na napapailalim po sa DICT.
At bakit po pumayag yung DICT?
Sabi nila, ligtas naman daw po.
Sino pong sila?
Well, nung panahon na yon, ang kalihim po ay si Secretary Rio, Tapos, doon naman po sa NTC, yung ating minamahal na, na chairman, Lel Cordoba, na ngayon ay nalipat na, mamimiss natin siya. Tapos yung sa National Security Advisor naman, I think si Secretary Esperon, di ba? Hindi, pero kasama siya din sa kasama din po sila Secretary Esperon noon sa consultation. Opo. At saka po yung nakaraang administration po, alam naman po ninyo yon.
Na marami silang kaibigan sa China.
Opo. Na mabuti marami tayong kaibigan kung saan-saan.
Of course.
Basta
Wala
lang
naman po
hindi
masama
natin
kung magkaroon tayo
kalaban.
ng kaibigan sa China. Pero we have to be very careful kung sino yung mga kaibigan na yon. Lalo pa po, sabi ko kanina, meron pong sigalot nangyayari sa pagitan po ng China and Philippines dahil po doon sa West Philippine Sea na baka hindi natin alam na meron na po palang espiya doon na nakapag-infiltrate dito sa atin at nagagamit na po yung kanilang friendship para makakuha o makalamang o makakuha ng mga data information that involves national security. Ngayon, ang follow-up tanong ko po, is there a way na para po mapatanggal natin yung mga towers na yan sa loob po ng kampo ng militar? Ilagay po sa ibang lugar malayo-layo na kung saan magiging safe na po yung ating military facility na wala na po makapag-eavesdrop ng kahit sino pa man niyang telephone companies, whether that's Filipino-owned or Chinese-owned.
Mr. President, I think this is a good issue to raise. Since I am the chairman of the Committee on Public Services, I think this is one particular concern that we can hear in our committee to find out if they've evaluated the safety of those towers and how many towers already were erected in different military sites. And if it's feasible to discontinue that arrangement and perhaps relocate those towers. But of course, in the meantime, we are still suffering from the speed and connectivity of our ICT. So we also have to balance it with that. The DND has a MOA with telcos, and they have made a risk analysis before they entered into a MOA. But unfortunately, we haven't had a follow-up on the evaluation if the MOA is actually effective, if there's really no risk to it. So we will look into it, Mr. President, and I thank our good senator from Davao and Isabela for pointing this out.
Okay. Meron ho ba tayong, I don't know if I should even ask this question, mas maganda kung sagutin po ng mga taga-DICT. Meron po tayong under your employ, yung tinatawag na, is it proper to call them ethical hackers, na para tingnan po kung meron tayong weakness sa ating cybersecurity. Na, yung mga hackers na lang. Kasi po, halimbawa sa ibang bansa, yung mga malalaking companies, yung mga IT companies, Google, na nag-hire po sila, nagpapakontest po sila kung sino yung pinakamagaling na hacker na ma-hack po yung kanilang system at makita po kung anong weakness meron po yung Google, and then binabayaran po ng $40, $50, $60,000. So don't we have that kind of like system na mag-hire tayo ng hackers na para naggaling sa black hat kung tawagin, and then we convert them to white hat na maging kakampi natin, titingnan po kung ano po yung weakness na meron tayo, and then later on they can work, he or she can work for the government.
Yes, actually, every now and then, apparently, the DICT hires somebody to do this ethical hacking to test their system. It's called a vulnerability assessment and penetration system test. On the other hand, Mr. President, they are not regulars in the company. This is just on a need-be basis. And perhaps if we can add to the intelligence fund, they can have an item in that. Kasi alam naman natin yung mga magagaling na yan na mag-hack. Kahit saan po makakahanap ng trabaho yan eh. Di ba? Paano ngayon kung ating consultant lang sila pero may kumuha sa kanila na mas malaki ang offer, syempre hindi natin malalaman ang loyalty nila, di ba? So I think really we have to have a permanent position for that. And that's another item and that you intelligently brought up, Mr. President, so that in our next hearing with the DICT, we will hopefully let them answer this. And if need be, we should be able to add more in their budget.
Okay, last na lamang po, Madam Chair. Itong TextCam na ito, matagal na po ito. Paulit-ulit na lang po ito. Sumusulpot po sa ating mga cellphones. Ano po ang ginagawa ng DICT, ng ating gobyerno, para mahuli, para masakote yung mga taong nasa likod nito? Na marami na po nabibiktima nito. And yet, hanggang salita na lang po tayo, nagbibigay po tayo ng warning through the media, information dissemination that there's such thing, wag patulan, etc., etc. Ano po ang ginagawa ng ating gobyerno para matrack down kung sino po itong manasa likod nitong tinatawag ng mga TextCam?
Well, ganito po yon, Mr. President. Maraming salamat po sa pamamagitan ng tulong ng ating mga kasamahan dito sa Senado at kayo rin po, Mr. President. Napasa po natin itong SIM Registration Act. Pero ginagawa pa po yung IRR niyan. Hindi pa po tapos. Pag yan po ay na-implementa na po, sa tulong po ng mga telco at sa tulong din ng DICT, kung meron pong magre-report ng numero, tatahakin po kung sino yang ng mga nagpadala na yan at sila po ay pwedeng maparusahan. Ngayon, tama po ang sinabi ninyo, nakadepende pa rin po tayo sa tulong ng mga telco. Sapagkat sila po, pero sa batas po na to, sila talagang repository ng ng information. Makukuha po natin 'yan kung meron pong utos ng korte. Ako po ay tinext nung nakaraang NTC chairman na si Mr. Lel. Namimiss ni Majority Leader po. Yung NTC po, ito na naman, tatawa na naman tayo. Yung NTC po, nagpadala na meron na po sila talaga ngayong hotline number 1682. Okay, so yung 1682 na yon, pwede na raw doon tumawag para mag-report. Tapos pinadalan din po ako ng mga litrato na meron na silang parang maliit na call center. Pero hindi ko po alam kung call center ba talaga yun, yung mga staff nila doon sa... Parang kulang pa yata yung funding. Pero ito, yung creation po ng NTC hotline, yung 1682, is being facilitated. The agency has prepared for an initial 3 simultaneous hotline operators with 3 shifts per day, 9 agents, and with 24/7 operations. So, kung 9 agents po, baka pag tatlong shift per day, baka tigtatatlo per shift. So, wag po kayo... Huh? We're just starting, but at least it's getting there, sir. So, Sham, mas marami pa po tayong staff, sir.
Okay. That's all. Thank you, Madam Chair. Mr. President, maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to thank our colleague from Davao and Isabela. He has really raised important points that will help us not only with this budget, but in succeeding budgets to come. Of course, we have been inundated with so many different needs for this department that some crucial ones, like the Intelligence Fund, we didn't really harp on it. But I think that this department deserves it, of course, if handled by a responsible secretary, which I believe we have at this point. So thank you.
Thank you, Senator Tulfo, Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good evening, my dear colleagues, and to our good sponsor, Senator Grace Poe. This representation fully supports the Department of Information and Communications Technology. I firmly believe that the government should provide the department with enough funding so that it can implement necessary programs that are crucial for our country's cybersecurity, especially in this information age. Some nations are getting very aggressive when it comes to attacking other nations. War which seems far-fetched, is more real than we think. Take, for instance, Russia and Ukraine as an example. But the number of nations or entities resort to cybersecurity attack, we think that nobody will bother with us, but should the threat become imminent, we must be ready. During the budget briefings, I was very vocal about my concern in our fight against cyber crimes. At that time of the budget briefing, the CICC admitted that we lack the necessary equipment, tools, and technology to protect the nation and its people from cybersecurity threats. Ilang ulit na ba nating nabalitaan na na-hack ang ating government websites? Napag-alaman ko pa mismo, ang ating national security data ay binibenta po sa dark web. Natalakay na din po natin dito ang walang katapusang klaseng tech scams. Kaya nga po, ipinasa natin ang SIM Registration Act. These are indeed very alarming incidents. Our very nation's security is at risk. Let us not wait for vital services such as electricity, water, and health services to be affected. It is high time that we equip the ICT with an adequate budget. I implore upon the department to study the vulnerability we are exposed to so we can fight for the budget that you need. And before I end this, meron lang po akong konting mga katanungan.
Bigyan nyo ng tubig.
Madam Chair, anong klase po mga computer system, routers, brand, ang ginagamit po ng ating gobyerno, especially po sa DICT?
Unang-una po, maraming salamat from our colleague from Mindanao and Isabela for your manifestation of support. And I totally agree with your concern. That's why it's crucial that we really scrutinize the budget as well as the performance of the DICT. With regards to the brand of computers, and there are actually different kinds of makers of their computer. Some are from the US, some are from Japan, Korea, and of course, China.
China. Okay. Ano pong brand ng computer na galing po sa China? I'm interested about the router. Ano pong, saan po galing yung router na ginagamit po ng ating gobyerno as far as DICT is concerned? Saan galing po? Saan po binili yun?
We have Cisco, Huawei, and many others.
Huawei, made in China. Pwede ba malaman, Madam Chair, kaano ho ba kaimportante yung router? Especially if we're talking about cybersecurity.
Well, ako po ay di expert dyan sa mga ganyang uri ng technicalities. Pero ang alam ko, lahat ng impormasyon dumadaan sa router. Di ba? Wala po, parang nag-uusap-usap yung mga computer na yan, hindi mag-uusap-usap kung walang router. So para yun ang tulay ng ating sistema.
So ibig sabihin, through that router, pwede ma-monitor po lahat ng internet activities natin dito sa Pilipinas. Pwede ma-monitor po pag nilagyan niya ng virus ng China. Considering the fact na meron pong nangyaring sigalot ngayon between China and the Philippines because of the West Philippine Sea.
Well,
Bakit po gumagamit kayo tayo ng router coming from China, Huawei? Bakit hindi po natin palitan yan? Siguro po kailangan ponduhan ng ating gobyerno ang DICT o yung gobyerno mismo ang gagawa ng paraan na mapalitan po itong router na ito.
opo. Actually po, it's really embedded in many of the systems in our country, including telcos, na gumagamit ng mga China-made products, particularly nga Huawei na ginagamit ng isang telco company. Ito naman po sa DICT, meron nga tayong US pero admittedly may Huawei. Ngayon, siguro po, yan po ang sistemang nadatna na ng ating mabuting secretary nang siya ay naupo sa pwesto, pero maaari pong siguro sa mga darating na buwan ay pag-aralan natin sa susunod na budget sana ay mapalitan na yung mga ibang routers natin doon.
Okay. Do you agree with me, Madam Secretary? Siguro pwede natin tanungin ng mga experts natin, kung may mga experts dyan ngayon sa panel po ng DICT, na it may serve as a security threat. Ito pong paggagamit ng router ng ating gobyerno na made in China.
Opo, it's really something that, I mean, of course, we cannot be 100% sure that if we change the routers, there will be no threat whatsoever. But it's in a step in the right direction. Perhaps what we will ask the good secretary is to write down or to estimate how many routers are Huawei and how much it will cost to replace them, so that next budget hearing, sir, you can supervise this and we can hopefully present a new budget for new routers.
Okay. Napansin ko po, walang intelligence fund ang DICT. Bakit po, Madam President?
Naubos na po siguro sa iba.
Ako po. Marami po mga departamento, ahensya sa ating pamalaan na hindi naman talaga kailangan ng Intel funds, and yet nabibigyan sila by the hundreds, by the millions. Pero ito pong isang ahensya ng gobyerno tulad ng DICT na kailangan po natin to fight cyber crime. Lalo na ngayon po sa pagdami na po nito mga scammer, tech scam kung tawagin, sa social media. At nalalagay na po sa panganib ang ating cybersecurity, bakit po hindi natin bigyan ng Intel funds ito pong DICT na napaka-importante po para sa kanila makapagtrabaho sila na maayos, maprotektahan po yung ating cyberspace.
Thank you for pointing that out, Mr. President. I agree with you. This is a very crucial department to monitor the safety of our countrymen. Lucky for them, they're working alongside telecommunications companies like Globe and Smart, who have the budget to do their own monitoring and investigation, subject to a court approval. So in the meantime, that they don't have, DICT does not have its own intelligence fund, they are actually at the mercy of the telcos to provide information that they might need in order to capture some of those that are sending all of these tech scams. But again, you have pointed out two very important points, Mr. President. Number one, you mentioned about the routers, which we really need to consider changing. And number two, na-point out po ninyo na walang intelligence fund ang isang ahensya na malaki ang responsibilidad sa pangangalaga ng seguridad ng ating mga kababayan.
At nabanggit nyo na po kanina, Madam President, na umaasa lang po yung DICT sa information o pondo na ibibigay ng mga telcos company. So, ibig sabihin, they're indebted. May utang na loob pa sila dito sa mga telcos. So, kung ano ibibigay ng telcos, ano ididikta sa kanila, well, dahil may utang na loob sila dito, so they'll just accept it and do what as they want them to do. So, bakit po natin hindi sila bigyan ng sariling budget? Ba't kinakailan pa umasa sa mga telcos?
Actually, Mr. President, nag-iingat rin ang mga telcos sapagkat napapasailalim po ng DICT ang NTC. At pag hindi po sila tulungan sa ahensya ng gobyerno dun sa kanilang mga pangakong commitment, halimbawa, yun nga, maintaining the security and the privacy of our countrymen, pwede din po silang mawala ng prangkisa at magkaroon din po ng penalties. Kaya hindi naman po malaking utang na loob. Ito po ay isang kasunduan sa pagitan ng DICT and sa pamamagitan ng NTC at ng telco, na ang mga telco ay dapat talagang manumbalik at ibigay rin ang mga impormasyon na kailangan para sa seguridad ng ating mga
I know
kababayan.
that, Madam President. Pero di ho ba mas maganda kung may sariling budget po ang DICT na magagamit nila at their disposal, na hindi na kailangan pang ipaliwanag sa mga telco na magbibigay sa kanilang pera o pondo, because pag maghingi sila ng pabor sa telcos, meron silang utang na loob, and of course, since may utang na loob sila, may karapatan mga telcos para tanungin kung saan gagamitin yung perang ibinibigay sa kanila. Mas maganda po, they have their own money, they have their own budget. Sabi ko kanina, kung yung ibang mga ahensya ng gobyerno na hindi kailangan ng Intel funds na bibigyan ng Intel funds, confidential funds. Where in fact, itong isang ahensya na napaka-importante sa ating cybersecurity, ni singkong duling walang binibigay ang ating gobyerno. Hindi po napupondohan. Bakit po? Yun nga
Actually
tanong.
po, nung nakaraan po, meron talagang intelligence fund ang DICT. Siguro po, baka nakuryente yung iba na nahiya na o natakot na walang sinumite, di ba? Meron ba silang sinubmit? Wala po kasi silang sinubmit sa ating committee ng Intelligence Fund. Pero tama po kayo, nasa tamang paghawak naman ng pera yun eh. 'Di ba? Hindi naman ibig sabihin na kung may intelligence fund ay masama na. Kaya lang dapat naayon sa mandato ng ahensya. At sa panig naman ng DICT, sa tingin ko kailangan nila kung reasonable naman. Siguro pwede tayong humiling sa secretary sa chairman ng Finance Committee na magkaroon ng espasyo para dito.
Kaya pa ho bang habulin na mabigyan natin ng budget sa Intel Fund, itong DICT natin?
Pwede po naman pong i-propose ito.
Okay.
Na galing sa inyong tanggapan at pwede nating isumite. Tignan natin kung ito ay ma-adapt po ng chairman ng Committee ng Finance.
Kasi po, balita ko dati, meron daw ata 400 million na Intel funds pero mukhang nagamit ata sa eleksyon. Hindi pa panahon ito ng mga nakaupong DICT people ngayon. So siguro po kailangan ibalik to because they really need the Intel Fund para sila po ay makapag-operate against these scammers, against people na meron pong intensyon na para pasukin po tayo, papasukin po ang ating cyberspace at magasik po ng lagim.
Actually, this is the sad reality, Mr. President. The Cybercrime Investigation Center requested for 4.6 billion, not as a confidential fund. Ito lang po ay to upgrade their system, etc., to get the much needed manpower. But drum roll, ang nabigay lang po sa kanila 347 million out of the 4.6 billion. This is a mere 7%, 7.4% of the fund that they requested. So, unlike you, Mr. President, I don't think the ones that are deciding on the budget is really taking the role of the DICT seriously. I think, unfortunately, we're waiting for an impending doom before we actually deem it necessary to give them the proper funding.
Siguro po pwede nating pagtulungan ito, Madam Chair, na para matingnan po nitong mga taga-DBM kung sino pa itong mga agency na nagbibigay ng budget para sa DICT sa mga ahensya ng gobyerno, i-reconsider yung pag-slash nila napakalaking pondo sa DICT na kailangan naman po talaga nila ng pondong ito para maprotektahan po yung ating cyberspace. Now, balita ko po, ibinebenta na raw po ngayon sa dark web. Ito pong ating national security data. Do you have this kind of information, Madam President?
From the Secretary, Mr. President, apparently there's really a lot of talk about our information being sold in the dark web. But unfortunately, this is, at this point, not validated. And let me ask if there's an effort and a capability to validate. The good secretary said that with the proper Intel fund, we might be able to do more digging into the legitimacy of the claims that our information is being sold in the dark web.
Okay. So, there's no way to validate kung totoo itong sa dark web binebenta po ang ating mga napakahalagang national security data. Kailangan po ng Intel Fund. Yan na naman po, Intel Fund na naman, na wala po yung ating DICT.
Tama po kayo. Kaya ako'y nagpapasalamat din sa inyo, Mr. President, na inilalabas ninyo ito. Alam niyo naman po, pag tayo ay may mga komite, napakaliit po ng espasyo para kumuha ng pondo Unfortunately, hindi po tayo yung unang nagdedesisyon, kundi yung ahensya ng gobyerno na gumagawa ng budget. Hindi naman po talaga nasama yon dun sa hiniling nila.
Kanina nga po, this is medyo out of topic, yung DNR, meron 13 million something na Intel funds na wala naman sila nagagawa para magamit yung Intel funds para mahuli yung mga nagasik ng lagim sa Masungi protected area. Marami pa, hindi na ako magbabangkit ng mga ahensya ng gobyerno na hindi naman talaga nila kailangan ng Intel Fund o confidential fund, and yet ang laking binibigay sa kanila ng confidential fund na itong ahensya na tulad ng DICT ni Singong Duling, zero in-slash po ng DBM.
Ngayon ikaw bilang Pilipino, ano ang masasabi mo at reaksyon sa balitang ito? Mag-iwan ka ng komento sa ibaba at atin pong babasahin isa-isa.